TV. Let me get a little organized here. Good.
I'm gonna just hold
Alright.
this. Hold on. Oh god.
Make sure the Iron Man is front and center.
I'm gonna tape
arc.
this. Can I tape this?
You need a real arc reactor.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a way I can tape this on.
Because Tony Stark built it in the cave with a box of scraps.
Yeah. Metal scraps, pretty much.
This is gonna be extra as hell, but I'm doing it.
Go for it, bro.
Oh, are you zip tying it to your headphones or something?
No. Just
Now he's
have a
gonna tape
printer
it.
cable. And then I'm gonna tie it around.
There you go. Oh.
Jesus Christ. Okay, maybe I should go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is not gonna fit. It's not gonna work. Damn it.
That's alright. At least you try.
Alright. Is there anything else I can... Nothing else I have that's like long enough to tape around, unless this is...
I mean, it's fine.
Unless this is... This might be longer.
You'll be okay, Evan.
No,
You'll
it
be
won't.
okay.
I know.
People are gonna think you're
Insane?
insane. Yeah. That one's long.
Yeah,
That one's
that's-
really long. That's okay.
Yes, it is. See? Get it attached on here real good. Oh, no, don't stop. Oh no, come on. Stay on. No.
I don't think it's gonna work, Evan.
It has to. How else am I gonna stay alive? Just have to flex really hard. And then it pops out.
Yeah, that's perfect. It looks great.
I can't do it without laughing. Okay. Shit. Okay, we're just gonna get the intro and then I can pull it off. It's okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome back to the Ultra Films YouTube channel. Today, we're here to talk about Iron Man, and we're reviewing How Bad Was It. I'm here with my arc reactor today, and it didn't just take me an excessive 5 to 10 minutes to attach to my chest.
No, it was there the whole time.
This has been here ever since I got blown up with a grenade, and or a missile, I'm sorry, and then there's been shrapnel in my chest. It keeps all the shrapnel out, and
I mean, at least it looks like you actually built it in a cave with box of scraps.
it really does
Yeah.
kind of look like that. Anyways,
Although
so
technically they put it on him, like, they add the whole metal
yeah,
stuff
that's
on his
true.
chest.
He didn't consent to it.
Yeah.
That's against HIPAA. That's a HIPAA violation.
I mean, luckily that the guy who did it, what was his name? Yuri?
Yes.
Yeah, Jensen, I think.
Jensen.
Jensen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jensen.
Yeah.
Luckily, Jensen is dead, so he doesn't have to.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Lawsuit.
spoilers.
Oh,
Spoilers.
Right. All right,
Oh.
spoilers for a
Spoiler
movie
warning
that came
for-
out.
In 2008. Spoiler
2008.
warning for anybody who hasn't
2008.
seen Iron Man. You should go watch it before you watch this episode. We'll give you a couple seconds to click off the video here. And welcome back. So we're going to talk about Iron Man from 2008. We're
Yep.
going back to watch the whole Marvel series, The Infinity Saga, and all of the films coming out this year,
Yep.
including Far From Home, which is weirdly at the end of Phase 4, even though, or Phase 3. I'm sorry.
No, no, we're in Phase 4. This is Phase 4.
We just started Phase 4.
Yeah, at the end of Phase 3 into Phase 4. It's like
Yeah.
weirdly placed in between the two. As like
And then
the
No
legacy
Way
maker.
Home is the last one that we're doing in our series.
Yes, so we're gonna watch in chronological release
Order.
in release order. Not some people think chronological order is like when it happened. I guess.
So that would be chronological.
I guess that would
be chronological.
Technically, yeah.
We're doing it in release order.
We're doing it in release order, so starting with Iron Man 1 and then going on to Hulk and from here on. So this is our first episode of this. Essentially, we're going to go back and just see how bad it was, because that's the title of this video. I genuinely don't think it's a bad movie. It's a great movie. It's clickbait, so sorry about that.
Well, I mean,
But,
it's our movie review segment.
It is our movie review.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the movie a little bit here, what we liked and enjoyed. And we're going to lose Nightwolf in a cave for 3 months, and then he's going to come back.
Exactly. Hold on a second.
You're
Go
good.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Just messing
I'm
with
good.
you. You're good. And then we are going to give it a rating at the end, or do we want to just start with that? I think we should start with that and then explain why.
Well, then people will click off the video.
Oh, no, we're going to give it ratings and then explain why. You guys better frickin' stay. Anyways, so we have our own rating system. It's 1 through 5. 1 being unwatchable, 2 being watchable, 3 being good, 4 being great, and then 5 being ultra. So we all independently went and watched the film on our own this week. And then to preface this video and did our own, we took our own notes and gave it our own rating. And then here we are. So I'm going to start.
Go for it.
I gave it a 1 because it really was unwatchable and I couldn't get through it. I clicked off. No, I'm kidding. I give it a 4 because I think it's a great film. I would almost say ultra.
Really?
I think I'm gonna save that for only a few films in the franchise. And
There's only like a couple that actually get ultra.
I think. To be I'm not super loose with like giving things grade scores. I tend to not judge things super harshly. I notice so. Like there's like not problems with the movie at all, but it's not like Thor: The Dark World like that. That's
okay. Wait till we get.
We're
there.
just gonna
Wait
make
till we
jokes. I
get there.
feel like this whole series is just gonna be us making jokes about Thor: The Dark World before we watch it and after. At least I will be, because I fucking hate that movie. We're gonna
watch it be the best movie.
Watch it
Right,
and give it a 5 because I'm like, you know what? I've been so mean about it. I feel
After watching all the other films and then coming back to Thor: The Dark World, it turns out to be the best
it's
movie.
actually the best. What the hell? No. So, no, but I give it a 4. It's really good pacing wise. It sets up the whole franchise, and everything about Robert Downey Jr. was perfect. Obviously, he's the great, the most realistic choice, having dealt with problems similar to Tony does in the comics, and just being the face of, Tony. He just embodies him so perfectly. They could not have picked anybody else, even just from that movie. Like obviously we see him now after post Endgame and his death, and oh shit, spoilers for Endgame if you haven't seen that.
Well, we've already said spoilers earlier, so.
Yeah, so
I know we didn't say spoilers for Endgame, but we did say spoilers.
You know what? I might as well spoil it. Thanos comes out of nowhere. There you go.
There you go. But anyways, we see him now later in the future dead, and you just go, no one could replace Robert Downey Jr. in that role. That was apparent from the beginning of this movie, obviously. Like, it just, no one else can be Tony Stark, no one else can be Iron Man, and even though like a lot of the things are predictable in like movie pattern wise, it's all very powerful stuff. like as in like plot devices, like oh Obadiah Stane's gonna, turn on him, like the secret
Yeah,
villain
yeah, it was,
reveal where he
yeah,
walks out the car, like
yeah.
you know, it's
Mhm.
all like very like cliche stuff, but like they did it very well. It was a very good execution of all of it, and
Yep.
for especially because like this was the first Marvel movie, so like it just it probably was much more powerful back then, like first time watching it, and like oh my god, he is bad. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's not. That's why I can't give it an ultra though. This is I guess what I'm trying to say here is like it's not strong enough and like game changing enough to like the I am Iron Man line is iconic, but it's not like it didn't really change the game is in terms of the rest of the story enough to
Well,
receive an ultra.
okay,
Like there's some films that like later on in this series that I know I'm probably gonna give an ultra because of what it actually did for cinema and like adapting, comic book stories
yeah,
into
I get you.
movies.
Yeah.
But like this, even though it was the first to do it, it's a very very great attempt, but not
Yeah.
ultra for me.
Okay, that's
If
fair.
that makes sense.
Well, also,
Okay.
well, like you said, like this is Marvel's first. Well, to be fair, this is Marvel's first movie. Who knows what would have happened? What if this movie flopped? What if we never got these other Marvel movies?
Yeah.
You know,
No.
Yeah.
like if Iron Man, like, what if Iron Man really flopped and did not sell out like it was like it normally did?
Yeah.
And then what?
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
fair.
if you look at this, I guess the whole point of the series is that we have the hindsight. You look at it now and you go, that's like so advanced in storytelling for where we were in 2008. Sort of. It wasn't like groundbreaking, but it was very very good storytelling, character
Mhm.
development, and 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 Robert Downey Jr. fucking played Tony Stark to the T.
He
Like
did.
that's what
He did.
every comic fan wanted out of an Iron Man story, and they gave it to us on a silver platter.
Well, I
Yeah,
know
I
personally
don't.
for me, like I was really into the X-Men when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
but
Same
beyond
here.
that, I wasn't like too big in the comic book franchises.
Mm-hmm.
So like this
Yeah,
was like really the gateway to me getting into comic books.
it's a gateway
Uh,
drug. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Iron Man is the gateway drug.
Iron Man is the gateway drug. Yeah.
So like I don't know, like because I was 20 when this movie came out.
I was
Yeah.
12 or 13, I believe.
I
Well,
was in high
actually,
school. I was either 16.
eight-
Yeah, I should be 16 or 17 at that time.
I'm sorry,
'Cause
11 or
I
something.
graduated. I graduated when I was 18 in high school.
So like it just like that really got me into comic books. Like I was always kind of into them, but I was like, comic books,
So it
weh,
pushed you over
whatever.
the edge.
But like I really enjoyed the X-Men because
Yeah.
X-Men and Spider-Man were like the two big TV shows on Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah,
Like
right.
Yes.
like
Yes,
when I was
dude.
growing up. So
Yeah.
like that's why I really liked
We were
Spider-Man and
growing up.
X-Men. Yeah, we were going.
Yeah, that's
Um,
why I'm a DC boy, I guess. A little bit of a.
Yeah, well,
I
I mean,
mean-
you also had WB, where
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we grew up with Fox, and then Fox
Yeah.
stopped doing cartoons.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
So like
Yeah.
on Saturday morning, so like WB had all
I
the
grew up on the Batman series, and I grew up
The
on
anime series,
the
the
Justice
Superman
League.
anime series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justice League was a little bit like a year later on, like around the 2000s, I think.
Yeah, I think that was like.
But like for me, but they start off with the Superman anime series and the Batman anime series
Yep.
with,
Yep.
with Hamill and them and Terra.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Hamill's a legend. Yeah, no, it's sorry, I got off track there a second. Essentially, I also wanted to add that, like, why I gave it a 4 and not a 3 is because some of the same stuff that you guys were just saying is like, it is like the gateway or like it opened the floodgates into
Mhm.
allowing us
It
to
did,
do
it
all
did.
these things.
It
allowed them
it
to
pretty much opened the
sign-
gates for Marvel.
Yeah, big names like, I guess Edward Norton wasn't like.
Ed Norton was a huge name at the time.
I guess he
Like he was a big get.
was he like B-list or was he A-list?
No,
Sort
he
of
was
celebrity.
A-list. So
Yeah,
he was
that's what I
coming off of
figured.
Fight Club,
Yeah.
like
okay.
just
Yep.
years before, like
Yeah.
just a couple years before.
But yeah.
He had a couple of really good movies after that,
Mm-hmm.
and then so like getting Edward Norton to play the Hulk was a huge get.
Yeah. So
Yep.
being just how well, Robert Downey Jr. nailed this, like allowed Marvel to just blow up from there, because like they saw, like they'd done comic book movies in the past. Obviously,
Well, this
they've
was
done
their
the
first
Raimi
official
trilogy.
Marvel Studios movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Raimi
Where
trilogy
the other
and
ones
then-
were Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Fox
X-Men
or
stuff.
Sony, yeah.
Yeah.
Fox or Sony are set up,
Yep.
And Marvel
Which, I mean,
at that time, Marvel didn't have enough money to have their own movie
Yeah.
studios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should acknowledge that Marvel sold off all these properties, and that's why Fox had them, because they didn't have any capital to work with, and they were on the verge of almost bankruptcy, and
Yep.
they just were like, we got to sell some of our properties to people that are interested in using them for projects, because we don't have the money to make any of these projects, and we're
Yeah.
gonna go under if we can't. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty, it was a weird time for them. They're no longer in that situation, and I'm sure,
One of the biggest companies in the world.
yeah, they're with
They're owned by
with-
Disney now
yeah,
as well. Don't
partnered
forget
with
about
Disney.
that.
And so, they've seen massive amounts of success, and obviously give credit where it's due to Kevin Feige for doing what he's done with this whole franchise for the last 15 years.
More than that,
Almost.
20 years, I think.
It's only
It's
almost
been
15.
Has it been what?
21 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
2008,
No, wait. So 2008. So
13, but like we're coming up on
13, yeah.
2022, so the 14,
Yeah.
15ish years.
Yeah.
And
Okay, that's
they
fair.
already have projects planned out through 2023. So I'm just
I
like,
think they
mean-
got projects planned out until 2024.
yeah, so
Probably, yeah. I mean, they probably do right now, but like at that time, like in like around 2008, 2010, they're probably like, okay, what if we do these movies and see how it goes?
Yeah,
you know?
there's like it's just like laid the groundwork for everything, and even like you can look at a film like Shang-Chi that's about to come out in just a month or two.
Well, we got
August.
Black Widow in
September.
5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Widow. Black
Widow in 6 days.
Black Widow, a
Yep.
movie that was introduced in Iron Man 2, like
Yep.
that has
Yeah.
been around. It's just incredible. So we don't have any of that without Robert Downey Jr. And so that's why it's not like I don't think anybody would just call it
Yeah,
just a good movie.
I wouldn't say without Robert Downey Jr. I mean, they could have, like, I would say he was the perfect, not least perfect, but like he was the one actor that they needed to attract the people, saying, "Oh, look, Robert Downey Jr. is in this movie. Go see
So,
him. Go
just
see him
to-
play as Iron Man."
Just
You know?
imagine it being Tom Cruise, though. That's who they were gonna choose over him, and it's just
I mean, it's a big one. I mean, he could sell out, but probably wouldn't make that much money as it would. But still, though.
just with Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is still
sign
Tom
on
Cruise is
to
still a
the
big name.
franchise.
He
though.
could play. I'm not defending Tom Cruise or anything like that. But like,
Oh yeah.
Tom Cruise has done a lot of good movies with
Oh,
the
no.
Mission Impossible series.
Yeah. I'm not saying
know,
that like
It's
it
just the
couldn't have
difference
been
between
a good. I'm not saying it couldn't have been a good fit for him as Tony Stark. I'm saying like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise would not have signed on for as long as Robert did.
no,
Oh
probably.
yeah.
not.
Oh yeah. Nah.
Tom, we would probably ended up having another Edward Norton situation with Tom Cruise,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where
where he did
wanted-
the 1 or 2 films, maybe even 3, and then
That's
demand more money
Yep.
or more say of what's going on.
Yep.
Like where we don't know what actually happened in the
Yeah.
background with Robert Downey Jr. But I'm sure Robert Downey Jr. had a little bit of say in what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Because of the way that he portrayed Tony Stark, which was fairly
Yeah.
comic book accurate.
Yeah.
But
Pretty damn.
Playboy millionaire.
they started changing Tony Stark's persona to match Robert Downey Jr. in the comic books
Mm-hmm.
more after Robert Downey Jr. was the established
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yep.
Like when you look at Tony Stark now in the comic books, you just see Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
Like you don't
Yeah.
see,
You don't see
100%.
Tony Starks. You see just
yeah.
Yeah.
which is just fair. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's. I mean,
His
he's
likeness is there.
He's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
his likeness, his his everything, his aura is there pretty much.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But anyways, let's jump a little bit more into like the plot of the film. And
Well, you gave your rating.
oh
Yeah.
shit, actually, you're right.
It's our turn.
I be. You guys go.
you should say that at the end.
I forgot. Yeah, we could have just done those ratings at the end. We just started
But
talking.
you wanted it. You
Yeah,
wanted
no,
it
no,
at the start.
I
It
do wanna
was
do it
your
this
go.
way. You guys go.
Yeah.
You're right.
What you got, William?
Oh boy. All right. Well, when I saw this movie the first time, I was high. At that time,
That's good. Nice.
with this, high school time, it was a simple time, and Dylan could understand, like 2008, going to like the years before we hit 2010, they were like simple time. Those just chill days.
Oh yeah.
But from when I saw this movie again, like a couple days ago, I missed a lot of Easter eggs at that time. I was like, oh snap, there's this, there's that. I was like, oh, how did I miss that? How did I not notice that till now? I'm like, oh wow.
Oh yeah.
But overall, this was a really good origin story and a good introduction to the whole Marvel universe. Pretty much,
Yeah.
they got Tony Stark's origin right. They got his persona right with Robert Downey Jr. mixed into that, and everything. It was obviously the obvious who was the bad guy, who was the real bad guy in that villain.
Oh yeah.
Obviously it was Obadiah, and whatnot. Overall, for me personally, I would give Iron Man a 4 in my opinion.
Nice. Good stuff. Me too.
Although the only point thing I find says that the actor that was playing Rhodes at the time,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Would've had it- Yeah.
What was his name?
It's the same thing with like Tom Cruise. If he was the role of Iron Man, is like somebody who wanted more money and wasn't going to be dedicated to the project as long as Robert was, and didn't see the vision. I also don't know. I don't think Tom Cruise is like a big comic fan, really. As far as I know, like I've never seen any.
At least
he
I'm
hasn't
not
done
aware
any
of.
other comic roles, like he just like kind of was like approached to play it by Marvel. They're like, hey, we would love for you to do it, and he's like, nah, I'm busy.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Terrence Howard was the guy who played Rhodey.
Terrence
Yep.
Howard.
Rhodey, yep. And now
Next.
he
time.
wanted more money, and I mean, again, like I said, earlier, like it was a big what if. What if he kept on? What if he was still part of this whole Marvel Stock universe?
Overall, I don't think he was that bad of a Rhodey. It's just
no.
the Rhodey we have now is that much better.
Yeah.
Like it was just a better
You
fit.
looking for this? Drop off Don Cheadle at the doorstep of Marvel.
Yep.
Yeah. But for me, I also caught a couple Easter eggs, and then I watched it with my girlfriend actually,
Nice.
and she pointed something out that I had never even
Picked up on.
seen, because like well, I guess my rating is going to be a great 4 out of 5.
Nice. We're all on the same page.
We're all
we're
on
on
the same
4.
page with this.
Yep.
But
Ooh.
the country that Tony Stark / Iron Man shows himself to first when he flies in and he stops the Jericho project and destroys the tank and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is the is the hometown of Jensen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he
Why
was
he
so
was
keen on going in and stopping it,
Yeah.
because Jensen was the one that saved his life, was his partner.
Yep.
So I had never realized that, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, no, that was the hometown of Jensen," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think I realized that. I'm like, wait a minute, hometown, they're talking about family. I was like, oh shit.
So
I noticed that too, because the reporter came up and she goes, I was like, yeah, you haven't heard of this yet? Your company was dealing weapons here. And then he goes, where? And she goes, Golmira. And I instantly was like, oh fuck. He catches
I
it
hadn't
immediately.
realized it.
That was his motivation for going over there. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he still would have probably cared, because he's on a this redemption arc, and he's trying to stop
Well,
his
it just
company
hit
from.
harder because
Yeah.
Jensen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yep. Yes, and help him get
Um,
out. You know.
but it's
Arrest
so
the
Tony
thing.
Stark. Like at that time, like his brain is like, "Oh fuck, like I need to go," and he just leaves Pepper on the like,
Yeah.
like, and then she remembered him leaving her,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
he was like, he just remembered that they were having this moment,
Yeah.
and he didn't even realize that like him leaving her could have like done something like to mess up that moment, which overall it really didn't, but
No.
like.
No, obviously not. They have
But
they have a kid down the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah,
like
also-
at the time, like she remembered it. She's like, "Oh, you mean the party where like we had this moment, and then you were gonna go get me a drink, and then you left me on the terrace alone?" Like,
He's like, I did do that.
Yeah.
He's
Yep, I
just
did do
he's
that
just
also.
selfish, and he's trying to like. It's that same like sort of dynamic, and not in the same extent. Obviously, as like Peter Parker, but like that sort of work-life balance between being a superhero and having a life and taking care of the people you love. It's a tough one. That was
Yeah,
a good
but-
moment to kind
Well,
of
but what-
showcase that.
that was
But the
also a
good-
moment. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Blade.
No, but also what I realized that he also Tony Stark had a bit of like a change. Like in the beginning of the movie, you know, he was like, "Hey, yeah, I introduced you all these to Jericho, you know, the missiles and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start the bit off at like 500 million. You know, just selling all these rockets, all these Stark Industry weapons, like nothing.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he got his as soon as he got blown up and got kidnapped, he's like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna sell these weapons anymore. I'm just gonna do something else, whatever, you know."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I personally think that was the moment that he realized that, like, he is going to be whoever this person is. Like, there is no,
Yep.
like, shutdown between, like, Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Like, Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but Spider-Man is not Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Where, in Iron Man's case, it's Tony Stark is Iron Man, but Iron Man is also Tony Stark.
Yep.
Like, there is no bridge
Yep.
between that. Like, it's just what it
one
is.
One of the
He
same.
is always Iron Man. He is always Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Like where Peter he puts on the costume to be Spider-Man.
No, that's absolutely right. That's why that line is just so iconic. Is because he's like, no, fuck this shit. Like, I'm not staying on
Iron
the script.
Man.
Like, that's who I am. I'm not gonna fucking try and hide that. And
Yeah.
even though it puts like a big target on his back, and everyone's trying to tell him, don't do it. Like, he's just gonna do the right thing and be open and honest,
Yeah.
or at least do what he thinks is right. There's no right or wrong necessarily.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when Obi was going into the tent, it may have also been in the tunnels, but there was a
Yeah.
10 Rings flag,
Yes.
and it's
Yep. I noticed that.
it all like has the same stuff that's going on with the Mandarin movie.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
they had all that planned. Well, maybe not all of it, but they
Yeah.
had initially planned on bringing the Mandarin in
To Iron Man.
for Iron Man,
Yep.
which is cool. But like the fact that like they had all that stuff like planned out,
Yeah.
and then now it's coming to fruition like 13 years down the road. Like,
It's big stuff.
but it's the designs haven't changed. It's
No.
all the same design.
Yeah.
Like
The one thing I like to add is that when I was watching this when I was in high school, is I thought those flags were just like nothing. That I just burst them out. I'm like, okay, they're just
Yeah.
like regular terrorist flags. They're nothing. And now
yeah,
like
because like
watching
the
it
10
now,
Rings meant nothing to me when I was
no, yeah,
in
I was like
2008. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
10
I was
Rings,
like,
cool.
10
Like
Rings,
terrorist
cool.
organization.
exactly yes. Like okay, it's just some terrorist name that they come up with,
Yeah.
and now watching it now, it's like oh shit, they're represents now the Mandarin.
I
You know?
also like to point. I don't know if you guys like saw the like continuity, like parallel as well. Like the whoever the lead guy was from that Ten Rings organization was talking about. Oh, technology has ruled civilization for forever,
Mhm.
and whoever has the best tech will rule these lands. Ironically, like in the trailer for Shang-Chi, that's literally what the Ten Rings, like, oh, these 10 rings have helped my family rule this for generations. like almost
Yep.
word for word kind of parallel there, which is pretty ironic. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's just like, I mean, obviously it's probably like propaganda put passed down onto them. Oh, we need good technology. I would love to see. I mean, we're probably going to see whether or not, some of these people are connected. Obviously, that soldier doesn't die, the general.
No, he does.
He does.
So Obi uses the supersonic thing
Yeah.
to, yeah. So he like supersonics him and paralyzes him, and then as he's leaving to get into the his truck again, he's like, pack up all the stuff, and then take care of everyone, and then you hear gunfire.
Yeah, but that's
So-
for all the people that are lined up on the ground. That doesn't necessarily mean
Yeah.
they killed him.
No,
I'm-
he's
I'm-
no.
I'm
no,
pretty
the
sure
general
they
is
go
dead.
in and
Yeah,
I'm pretty
the
sure
general
they
is
go
dead.
in and tap him.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them to not go in and tap him.
But
Yeah.
what if he's not?
I mean, there's a chance that he's not, but like
He's
I
not,
don't
but-
think that we'll see him in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
thinking about it like sort of like war situation where like you kill all the men and leave the general alive as like a fucking fear tactic thing, but like they're just businessmen.
Yeah.
So they don't give
Another
a shit,
another
so-
thing I want to add is where I realized that when they said the whole if they take all this technology they will rule those certain lands
Mhm.
at that time. Like look what happened with in Falcon and the Winter Soldier when after the events of Ultron,
That's pretty.
all the Ultron bots got taken. Ultramarines are not there. A lot of people scavenged. What was the name of the place?
Even with the Chitauri and Vulture,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Barovia.
Yeah.
Where Ultron was.
Sokovia.
Mhm. Sokovia.
Sokovia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sokovia. Zemo's. It was Zemo's home,land as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Yeah, and after all the events, all the other nations around Sokovia, like, yeah, let's just take all this Ultron type technology and make it our own, so we could
all the
be ready for
vibranium.
whatever. Yep.
Shoot. Then we get Ulysses S. Claw.
Yeah.
Becoming a bigger villain
With
because of that.
all that.
Being a vibranium dealer times 10.
Yeah. But yeah, but focus back to Iron Man, boys. Back to Iron Man. What we didn't like? Was there anything that we didn't like about Iron Man?
That's a good question. I think more things that I didn't like was like maybe like the predictability. Even though I don't know, it's hard to like judge that necessarily on a rewatch kind of thing. But like
Yeah.
even like the first time
I mean,
I
it's fair.
watched it, like it was pretty obvious that like Obadiah Stane was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a villain. Like
Mhm.
even on the first watch, you're like, oh yeah, that guy's gonna be the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's just almost
I-
obvious.
I think overall, like, it was fairly predictable, but, like, even I think when watching it, I was like, okay, it was probably Jeff Bridges, Obadiah
Yeah.
Stane, like, who is the bad guy, but, like, if there's a
Yeah.
chance that it's not, and then when he's like, it was me, Tony, I locked you out, and that's what, like,
Yeah.
the big, like, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
like,
That's
Yeah.
fucked, man.
I liked it. It was
Yeah, no.
me. I mean,
just,
also,
like-
from
just,
that
like-
note, we also got to see some character, they also introduced with some characters besides Obadiah. We also got to see Pepper for the first time,
Yeah.
and we also got to see Agent Coulson. He's
Yes.
talking about the
Coulson.
shield. Yep.
so I think the casting in this movie was great.
Oh yeah.
Like John Favreau did a really good job at casting everyone in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even Terrence Howard wasn't that bad.
No, he was great.
No,
It's
no,
just
Terrence
like
great.
Howard at that time was a big name. He was a very big name at the time.
Yeah. No, I
Like-
think that he got paid more than Robert, and because Robert did so well, like, it's not that Terrence did poorly. He played
no,
his
no.
role. He played his role great. It's just
Yeah.
that like he wasn't the focus. Like he
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah.
to still make more money, and then he like found out that Robert was gonna make more, like a lot more, to keep the franchise alive, and he's like, "What the hell, man? I'm only getting so much." They also wanted him to take a pay cut.
Yeah,
yeah, but like
listen, your character, you are gonna. I think they probably did tell him like, sorry, Dylan. I think they probably did tell him like, listen, you are gonna wear an Iron Man suit, but not in this movie. You're gonna wear it
Yeah.
probably in the next one.
I think that's
Yeah.
why he wanted the same amount of money as Tony Stark, because he's
Yeah.
like, no, we're going to be co-leads.
Yeah.
Like in the second movie, like
Like a
he was
buddy
thinking
cop.
that it was going to be a co-lead situation
Yeah.
instead of it being Tony Stark with like Rhodey being like
Yep.
the come in and help, like the second boy essentially.
Yep.
Um, but like I don't know.
He
I
wasn't
didn't
even a co-lead in
didn't
the first. So.
think
Hold on.
anybody in this movie was horrible. Like Paul Bettany being Jarvis was like perfect. Like
Yeah.
and then like we now know that he's Vision. Like that was just
Mhm.
like the perfect like start.
Yeah.
Like John Favreau playing himself, but like being also the director, like
Yeah.
playing Hogan, like Happy.
Happy Hogan.
Like that was really good. Like Jeff Bridges, I think actually knocked it out of the park. Like
yeah,
he gets a
pretty
lot
impressive.
of like flack for being a bad villain.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in the overall, like Obadiah Stane was not a good villain really.
Yeah. No.
But like Jeff Bridges did really well in that role, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. He
Yeah.
definitely
Like-
sold the motive.
But that's also just a Jeff Bridges is a really good actor.
Yeah, he really sold the motive behind Obadiah and why he
Yep.
wanted to control everything, and he just like
Mm-hmm.
was money hungry and didn't give a fuck. Like
Yeah, I mean, technically was already making money, so it's like, yeah.
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 But
He's-
Jeff
I mean,
Bridges was a really big get for this movie too.
yeah, he was.
Like Gwyneth Paltrow. Like I don't think anybody could have really played Pepper Potts any better.
Yeah, I know.
Like
Mhm.
like say what you will about Gwyneth Paltrow, but she's a pretty good actress.
Yeah, she
Oh,
was.
no, she's good. I like her. I like her. She's good.
Yeah, I like the way she smells.
Oh. Oh.
All right, sorry. We won't go down that rabbit
All
hole.
right. Whoa. Before.
Do you got
before
some
we-
Mod? Is it Mod? Is that her?
Yeah,
Goop.
something like that.
No, it's Goop.
Oh, goop.
Gooper products. You got some Gwyneth Paltrow Gooper products?
No,
Oh God.
I don't.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Maybe a scented candle?
No, no, I don't. It was just a joke. I'm sorry.
Jeffrey's
Oh,
more
man.
money.
That's funny though. Anyways, yeah, no. So, it's just great. It's
Yeah. So
literally,
nothing.
it's
Nothing
literally
bad.
great. So there's not much that's like done wrong. It's predictable, and that's really the only thing. Even on a first watch, and there's nothing other than that that's really like, off to me. Yeah.
So we'll talk about this when we get into Hulk a little bit. But I think
Yeah.
that's might have been a little bit of the downfall for the Hulk movie. Is
Oh.
that Iron Man was predictable but good.
Yep.
Where the Hulk movie, they maybe tried a little bit too much.
Yep.
I'll just leave it at that. But
Mhm. I know what you mean.
like,
That's a good preface though. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, can you outdo the Iron Man movie by yourself with the Hulk? Yeah.
The answer to
Yeah,
that
well-
was no.
I mean, we're gonna have to watch it.
again,
We're gonna
like
have to
I
watch
don't
it.
think that movie was too bad. Like the Hulk movie, I didn't think it was horrible.
Yep.
Like we'll rewatch it here and actually
In
see
the next week.
if my original opinion changed on it from back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, I don't think it was that bad of a movie.
No.
Mhm.
But we'll see.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
right.
Anybody have any other comments about any of like the plot or any character development stuff like that? That like you
The
little
characters-
pieces you noticed that
I'll,
like
I'll go
were
first.
more important down the road in later films.
I'll go first. The character runs were good as it is. They set everything up for most of their villains, like with Agent Coulson with Shield,
Mhm.
Pepper Potts, falling, helping Tony, and
Yeah.
also eventually falling in love, and then Tony realizing, you know what, I could become something better besides selling weapons. I could become an actual hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, good character development with Rhodey character. A good. They set him up saying, obviously everyone got hyped to saying, oh my god, he's gonna become War Machine or whatever.
Next time, baby.
When he looked at the silver
Mhm.
Iron Man suit, saying, another maybe next time or whatever. But
Yep.
yeah, I had no problem. I had no problem with every character development or not.
Nice.
The plot was good as well. I mean, yes, it was predictable if you're watching it now, but like back in the day, it was nobody did knew it was gonna happen like that
That's
per
fair.
se.
Yeah.
Well, unless some of them knew, but like yeah,
I think the pacing for the movie was just perfect though.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely noticed that too. Like, there's not there's plenty of movies out there where you're watching, and even though it's like, some even still great movies, you just sit
Yeah.
there and go, man, what the fuck is this? What is this part of this movie where you kind of wish that like it just wasn't there. There's dull
Mhm.
moments, or even like there's movies that move too fast. Like you could say the Mortal Kombat movie moved way too fast. It
Yeah,
just was,
it definitely
it
did.
did.
Yeah.
like
It
the
did.
pacing in that is terrible. But like yeah, so it paces perfectly though. You're right. Yeah, it just flows. The story just flows through.
Yep. Go.
Overall, as far as like the character development portion of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
we don't really see too much character development beyond like the
Yeah.
initial like Tony Stark changing
Yeah.
his
I
mindset
guess
about.
Yep.
I guess I
like-
shouldn't mean development, but more like character setup.
Yeah.
But like as far as like Tony Stark, we really see his character development start. What is it in Iron Man 3?
Mm-hmm.
Slash the end of Avengers 1.
Yep.
Like we really start seeing his character development then when he's dealing with his post-traumatic stress.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when we really start seeing the new Iron Man, or like the one that actually cares about everything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think in the first two Iron Man movies, and even in part of Avengers, he's like, I care, but how much does he actually care? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's trying to pretend that he cares, maybe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, it's like that mantra where it's like, if you pretend to be happy, eventually you'll forget that you're not happy.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
Fake it till you make it
kind of, yeah, similar to that, where it's like, oh no, I care about the world, but like eventually he actually does start caring about
Yeah.
the world,
Well, I think
where like he was just kind of saying it at first.
yeah, I think the distinction even happens sort of. I mean, like obviously it's a process. You don't just change overnight. But I think like the first sort of like stepping stone, aside from like coming back and giving the press conference, like it's more Tony's like
The death of
appreciation.
Jensen.
Well, yeah, that too, but more like Tony's appreciation of people, which I guess you could say there. But I feel like even like him like understanding and like appreciating the moment with Pepper could be like that first sort of step to like being like, yes, no, I do appreciate people in my life that can be there, and then like slowly like starts appreciating life more and more to the point where he sacrifices himself to save the universe.
Well, I guess this is also like a yeah.
So
Go ahead and
either-
finish your point.
No, either of those points, like the death of Jensen, like being like, thank you for saving me, like I really like thank you, like having that moment with him, or even just like like seeing somebody that like you've had there for years, you've never told them outwardly, hey, thank you so much, like you really are there for me all the time when I need it. And then like you could take it a step further, that moment she's like, you left me, like he doesn't recognize that, but like he starts picking up on those things from here on out from people.
Yeah. Well,
No, we
Oh.
got disconnected.
I went to go to I was gonna
Whoa.
say is we we see a little bit of it in Iron Man 2 of his full old self,
Yeah, we do.
because remember that article that I said that I was reading? Well, in that article, one of the execs was saying that they disliked how Tony Stark introduced Scarlett Johansson, or
Yep.
the Black Widow. Go like when she came in, he was boxing.
Yep.
With Happy, like learning how to box, or like acting, or not
Just
learning how to box, sparring with Happy and like honing his craft, because he's like, oh, I'm Iron Man now. I should know how to like hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and then so like she comes in and she spars with him and like throws him on the ground, and then like Pepper comes in and Tony's like, I want one. Like in reference to like Scarlett Johansson
Yeah.
or Black Widow. You know,
Yeah.
like
I'm a
no-
trainer. They will do that to me. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
he was referring it to like she's a like smoking hot badass.
Yeah.
Like I want
Yeah.
one because he wasn't with Pepper at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like we still saw his little bit of womanizerness in that.
Yep.
Like
Mhm.
and I don't know, like at that we still see it, and we still kind of see it even throughout a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But once he starts being more like Pepper is my lady, like
Yep.
it's still there a little bit, but we don't we see all of his womanizerness like turn to Pepper.
Yep.
We don't
Yeah.
like to anybody else.
He becomes,
Yeah.
in a way, a simp.
He
Yeah.
sips for Gwyneth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Might as well. I
but
mean,
like
you're
I
right.
mean, like, you know, spoilers. Like at the end of Spider-Man, what was it, Homecoming?
Yep.
Uh,
They get married.
they go to the press saying, you know, we need how what we're gonna do now? Like, you know, I got it. We're gonna say we're gonna get engaged, and you know, people go crazy for that. I got the ring.
Well, he even had the ring on him at the time too,
Yeah.
so it's like it wasn't like he wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. To finish my point, kind of, it's like we don't really see that big character development from Tony Stark until late, like 5 movies in.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you see pieces of it, but
no,
that's
you
the whole
definitely see
point.
pieces, but
Yeah.
like the overall
You
shift.
don't see him like complete his transformation till later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to like toward like the ends of events of Avengers, pretty much. Of the
I mean,
films.
really, it was like Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why we wouldn't
Yeah.
get something like that out of Tom Cruise because he wouldn't have been around for that.
no,
no.
I think they would have like regretted getting Tom Cruise and then just brought Robert Downey Jr. in afterwards.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
I think Tom Cruise might have been probably would have been done after the third movie per se. Like at least after.
I don't know. I don't even know if Tom Cruise would have gotten past the second.
Because he would have done
Maybe.
the cameo in Hulk, and then he would have done Iron Man 2, and he probably wouldn't have made it to Iron Man 3 or Avengers.
True.
Well, maybe Avengers, but
Well, unless they started to, unless they were like, yeah, Tom, we'll pay you $100 million per movie. Like,
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll just
Like
get Tom Cruise fans just yelling at us that Tom Cruise is a good guy, even though we know that he's a Scientologist and Scientologists are good people.
Fucking roasted him.
Either way. Yeah,
Or
we got-
what? Did I see somewhere that he was trying to leave Scientology?
Dude, it's impossible to.
I
Ironically,
don't know.
my dad, like, he met, like, somebody, like, at, like, some weird fucking event that was a Scientologist, or, like,
Uh-huh.
he, like, went to a meeting, he, like, got scammed into, like, baited into going to, like, one of their meetings, and, like, filled out, like, the information sheet that they have. He signed his name one time, you know, like, put his name and information down one time, and then they've been tracking him through address changes, fucking, you know, like, everything since then, from, like, college.
That's crazy.
And he,
Yeah.
and he's like,
lesson learned, kids. Don't join cults.
yeah,
I love
don't
that.
join cults unless it's
Yeah.
the Ultrabots.
Oh
Then
yeah.
you can join that. cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our fan group. Go join
Yeah,
in our
Ultrabots.
Discord.
Subscribe.
That's not up yet.
Subscribe to this channel, and be
Click the
part of
button.
one of us.
Do we have
No, we don't have a Discord up. I just made that.
Well,
up.
we have
No.
our Discord.
Yeah, but
But
Yeah,
we
like,
don't have one for the fans yet.
Yeah, not yet.
We will. We will soon.
well, we can just add more Discord channels and have it just set to the Ultrabots.
Yeah.
Only
You could. Yeah, in the future.
in the future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, did Evan set that up? Like,
Not yet. I will eventually.
Not yet.
did he
Yeah.
did he like long game us already?
My long game.
Right?
No.
Did he kind of
Whole-
fight yes?
This whole episode was about getting the Ultrabots started. The whole
Oh,
time.
shit. Yeah. All right. So
Maybe-
before.
Maybe we should have the Ultrabots by the time that we watch Ultra
Ultron, Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
You're right. We
Oh,
should
yeah.
have that.
True.
Maybe I
All right,
planted
do we
that
have it?
idea in your mind.
Oh shit. So do we have anything else to say before we can start wrapping things up, or?
Um,
Any last pressing things about the movie that you want to get off your chest?
I don't think
I
so.
think we pretty much said most of it.
Yeah, there's not much.
Wait, hold on. What about the end credit scene?
Oh, right.
Oh, with Nick Fury.
We were
Nick
talking
Fury.
about potentially doing a breakdown of all the end credit scenes. And
Yes, that's correct. So, we are gonna rank. How do we want to rank these? I think we're just gonna do a tier list at the end. But we
yeah,
can,
we'll
like,
have to do
slot
it like
Yeah.
we can
our,
slot it
July,
where we
or
think
our
it is.
January 1st episode or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can slot it currently where we think it is. We'll do
Yeah.
an S tier for like the very best. A, B, C, D, and F.
Mhm.
And so
Who wants to go first?
I would put this one as like a C or a D.
yeah, it's really nothing special.
Yeah, it was alright. It was alright.
Like it had a lot of hype in it, like back in the day
Yeah.
when
Good.
I
we
think
were like,
that-
"Oh, we're getting the Avengers,"
Yeah.
but like now it's just kind of like a. He comes
Watching,
in. I want to talk to you about the Avengers initiative,
you're
and
like,
that's the end of it.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
We have
Like-
four Avengers movies already. So
But but that was like the end of it though. Like it was literally like, who's this guy in my house? Like, how did he get into my house?
yeah,
Yeah.
And then-
Who are you?
And then he's like, I want to talk to you about the Avengers initiative, and
Yeah.
then it was
Yeah.
done.
yeah.
Like,
There's post credit scenes that give me chills. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say
Like
which ones.
I
but
mean,
this
yeah.
one
If
is
I remember correctly,
high.
sorry, Evan.
No,
But like, if I remember, like back in the day, like everyone was hyped up, not because of the Avengers initiative, mostly because everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's Samuel L. Jackson. What the hell is he gonna?" Samuel L. Jackson's playing as Nick Fury. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna be in the next movie? Is he gonna be part of this? What?
Yep.
I don't know. Like we said earlier, there was like a lot of big name casting in this movie.
Yep.
They kind of went almost like all out in this Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys know what the best one is going to be. The only S tier one,
Oh,
It's
the
the,
one.
the one where Captain America comes in with a chair and sits down on it. It's like,
Patience. It's called Patience. Yeah. Where he's like, so
Yeah.
you came and stayed at the end of the credits.
It's-
And that's the whole post credit scene. It's so dumb. Anyways, yeah, no,
that's
a
the
pretty good one.
best one.
That is S tier.
I mean,
You're right.
listen, yeah, that is. I mean, shout out to Chris Evans for for he probably didn't get paid that much for him to like do those types of things, like saying, "All right, so
I'm sure he did that one for free.
No, he got the
yeah."
bag.
I'm like, I mean,
Like-
when he did all
he-
those videos in Spider-Man: Homecoming, he's like, oh, so you got in trouble?
yeah,
Yes.
no,
What's the matter?
he did multiple little scenes for that. So
Yeah.
anyways, for my ranking, you said C, right? C or D?
C or D.
I think
Probably,
that I would probably
I'll be nice.
for-
I'll give it a C plus. At
yeah,
least.
I think I would give this C as I don't know.
I mean, watch it now. It's like okay, it's obvious. He's
Yeah.
setting up for the event.
Like this is just
Obviously-
like off the top of my chest, like or top of my head. Like I don't remember all the post credit scenes.
Oh yeah,
But just based off of like
the ones that are memorable.
it now, it's just like like
yeah, no, that's definitely not one of the best. I'm tempted to even give it a D, because I know there's so many that are so much better that deserve like the S, A, B, and
Mhm.
even C's like middle of the road. But this one's really just not impressive to me, so I think I'm gonna have to give it a D. It's just like I mean we're judging all these movies based on how bad it was or how good it was, and this post credit scene really wasn't. I mean, it's not great now. It doesn't.
this
hold
post credit
the
scene is a
value.
2.
It's like if you're gonna buy a
It's
pair
watchable.
of shoes, and you're gonna keep those shoes in pristine condition and try and sell them later down the road, you would buy the patience scene. You wouldn't buy this one. Like it. Yeah, it just
Well,
doesn't hold up.
I mean, if we're doing the scenes but on our breakdown, like this scene is watchable.
Yeah, this
Like
scene is.
that's all.
Yeah.
It's a 2.
It's
Like
It's not even good. It's not even good. Really not.
Fair. Yeah,
I
they
agree.
could have done something better, make it a little bit more better. But hey, they did what they could for the very first Marvel Studios movie.
I don't wanna get too into like why I would rate it there in comparison to others, but like that it's just gonna sit.
I mean, yeah, we can say that for another time.
Yeah. That'll be, after we've watched them all, we'll do obviously a tier list, official tier list. We'll make our own even, and place them wherever.
I'm putting this post credit.
We can do that. Like,
Are we kind of like all in agreement that it's like a 2 out of 5?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
We could do that like
It was-
January 9th-ish or January
Yeah,
12th
just
in
put-
2022.
Well, it'd be like our New Year's episode essentially.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
one of the first episodes we put out during the New Year.
Cool.
But yeah, so I just wrote down in
Nice.
my little spreadsheet here,
Spreadsheet.
Iron Man. We all put it at a 4 out of 5, with
Yep.
post credit being a 2 out of 5.
There we go.
Yep.
All in agreement. Good stuff.
Yep, we're all agree. Nice job,
Glad
boys.
we're all very smart people. Thank you very much for being on the same page as me. I appreciate
Wow.
it because now I don't
Wow.
have to feel like I
Wow.
have bad takes
All right,
even
asshole.
though
Calm
I
down.
have crazy
Hot
ass
take.
theories. That's all I had to say there. That's it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching
Alright.
this video.
Uh,
We'll be back next week with Hulk. We just uploaded another episode. It's coming out in a few hours, actually. I mean, you'll be seeing this in the future, so it's already come out like a couple days ago, and it's on
you guys see
Loki episode 4, and
Mm-hmm.
why they're gonna make love in front of us, fully nude, and it's gonna be rated R in the last episode. Just kidding.
Sure.
That's not what's gonna happen.
All right,
But
let's up, please.
Loki
Yeah,
Yeah,
episode
drop your
4,
comments. Tell us what you think about Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
Like, go back and rewatch Iron Man 1 and tell us
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you think about it. How,
And where were you when that movie came out in
how,
2008?
how old were you? Age yourself
Yeah.
a bit. If you're 74 years old, you were 63? Wait, hold on. 60 years old. 60 or 61 years old. You were a young man or woman back then. Wow, how crazy was that? Just make old people feel
Tony
like
Stank?
shit. Tony Stank? Oh man. Poor Stanley. Anyways.
Oh, I guess we could also do a ranking
We
of the
could do
Stanley.
I like
Cameo.
that.
Yeah,
I
the
like
Stanley
that, yeah.
cameo.
This Stanley cameo was really good. He was Hugh
Yeah,
Hefner.
Hugh Hefner. I
Yep.
would give this.
I would say
an
that's a 5 out of 5.
A. Oh, are we doing
I mean,
out of? Yeah. I like
I
that.
mean, all of Stanley's cameos are 5 out of 5.
we
Let's
should
be
do
fair.
we should do it in the tier system. Put it in as a ranking S through F. Because I think we all.
So
Wait.
him being Hugh Hefner, is that an S? Or is
I
that
would-
double S?
I would give it A.
Or is that an A?
I give it an A.
I'll go with an A as well. Him being Hugh Hefner.
Well, I'm gonna put it as an S, but that gives it as a A plus. So
That's
Yep.
fair.
Fair.
A
Stanley
plus.
cameo,
Yeah.
A plus.
Yeah, that
How
was a
can we
good one.
forget the most important thing about that, like Stanley's cameo?
Yeah, dude. we
So now we know what we're doing for the next few movies. So we're looking for overall movie, post credit, and Stanley cameo.
Beauty.
Yep.
Beautiful.
right. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, leave a comment, and likes, and help us get some notoriety, please, guys. Show some
Make
support,
us
show some
famous.
love.
No.
Talk to us in the comments.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
will
Or
read all
at
of them,
Instagram or Twitter
which are
Mhm.
right
at
here. Ultra Films on Facebook, Ultra Films HQ on Instagram and Twitter, and
Yep.
we'll pretty much respond to everything on Twitter. And
Yeah. And we're gonna be chit chatting to some random people on Twitter as well.
oh,
Because
yeah.
why the hell not?
We'll tweet it all the people.
all the
Yep.
all the Twitters, all the twites,
all
tweets.
the twites.
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
you went twice. All right. Anyways, that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys, and we will see you next week. Peace.